Welcome back to another live stream here on Sports Vibes TV. I'm your host, Quis, and I have NBA analyst Stephen Fox in the building. Foxy, how's everything with you?
All is good. Shout out to you. Shout out to the chat and shout out to the SV Nation. I hope all is well. Happy Sunday. Happy Halloween. And our Knicks are 5-1, ladies and gentlemen. We talking New York Knicks basketball tonight.
Yes. The Knicks are 5-1. Foxy, we got a jam-packed show for everybody tonight. We're going to be talking about RJ potentially being the best two-way young star in this league. We're also going to be talking about the Knicks and their phenomenal three-point shooting. Foxy, the numbers that we're going to be presenting today are going to blow some of your minds. And also, we're going to preview the upcoming 3 games on the schedule. We got games against the Raptors, the Pacers, and then also against the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. So, people, we've got a lot of content for you guys today. Hope you enjoy. Salute to SV Nation. Thank you guys for tuning in once again on this Sunday night. Now, Foxy, we're going to start the show with RJ Barrett. RJ has been blossoming in front of our eyes, Foxy. He's been doing phenomenal things out there on the court. Yesterday had 35 points. He's showing that he can be a scorer out there. He's starting to break down defenses, get into the paint and finish. And we're seeing him use his right and his left hand. So what have you been seeing from RJ out there offensively that you think has led to this offensive explosion recently?
Like you said, what I love about Knicks fans and the Knicks fandom is that we love our players. So it's like us having a baby when we draft somebody. So this is like our baby boy blossoming before our eyes. And he is spectacular. He's been magnificent. And especially the last 2 games, he's 9 out of 11 driving to the basket and finishing. And like you said, several over the last 2 games, and several of those with the right hand. So he's using his size and physicality. We know he's an elite catch and shoot from 3. So him driving like that, you saw that look in his eyes. He had that killer in his eyes, like you can't stop me. And he looked like he studied some James Harden and him dribbling between his legs, getting his shake on before going for his move. So he's magnificent. Also his passing. He had some wonderful, and we talked about this off the air, that the chemistry between him and Mitch. So his passing, his driving, his shooting, folks, if he, adds that mid-range jumper like we've been talking about, increases that foul total. Right now on the season, he's a little over 17 points per game, about a little under 6 rebounds a game, 3 assists, shooting 48%, field goal 38 and change from 3, and 74%. I'll round it off from the foul line. Folks, if he gets that mid-range jumper, gets his, he's only 2%, the gold standard is 50, 40, 90. So he's 2% off from the field goal at 48, 2% off at the 3, and we know it'll be better there. So if he can get that foul shooting up, 20 points per game, here we come. And we haven't even touched on his all-world defense. That has been magnificent. That, shout out to Tommy Beers. He had a thing that said Jason Tatum is shooting, I think, 46% against everybody else in the league and shot 18% when RJ guarded him. So we have something special, folks.
Yeah, definitely. And Foxy, we were talking about RJ specifically in the offseason and some areas that he needed to improve. And I have the numbers up. One of the areas we discussed was him finishing around the rim. So I have stats for his percentages at finishing around the rim from cleaning the glass. And then I also have stats from less than 5 feet, less than 8 feet, and also in the restricted area from NBA.com. And as you can see, there has been a dramatic improvement in RJ Barrett's finishing around the rim. Now, also, I want to specify that this is a small sample size, but if RJ continues to perform at these trends, he's going to have a pretty good season. And I think he's going to step up and be potentially the number 2 option on this team. Foxy, how have you seen RJ's improvement around the rim benefiting his overall development as a player?
Pretty good season. I think he's on the cusp of being an all-star. But I think he's on having a great season. Hey, finishing is everything, and I think a lot of it is the mental game. You could see when you miss a bunny that you're clapping your hand and you're like, "Damn, how did I miss that?" So that those falling in for him, him taking better angles, and like we said, using that physicality and everything. It's everything. And like we said, last year. What did RJ do last year per game? Or I had it here. Basically, RJ this year, like we said, 17 points, 1 finish, and a couple other foul shots. He's a 20-point scorer. So that's, and this is a young kid. He's first learning the game. He's in the league, but 21 and change. Wow, the Lord has been good to us. We have a gift here, and we saw Zion. So this, everyone like Zion. No, man, RJ is going to have a much better career than Zion. Yesterday, I said he looked like Mabel from the WWE, man. Holy moly. I think he needs to date Jenny Craig or something. He was huge, folks. It was like, man, talk about junk in the trunk. Holy moly. But RJ is, and we're seeing it before our eyes. So yeah. And also the closer. We were seeing all these little things, and Inf last night. Shout out to our guy Inf. He mentioned it on the show last night with Quis, and he's 100% right, man. This is the next thing we're seeing: the driving. We're seeing all these new elements to his game, his handle, and now if we have a closer, whoa! How much leverage does that give us? It gives us everything, man. So I think he's, we had the most improved player in the league last year. Folks, we have a really good shot 2 years in a row to have RJ be the MIP again this year for the Knicks.
Yeah, we have a lot of potential candidates when it comes to trophy time at the end of the season. But RJ, I think, has definitely started to blossom this season. I know some fans were kind of cautious about his start to the season. He didn't really get off, and he didn't have that marquee moment like Akimba did in the Garden. But now these last 2 games, we're seeing who RJ can become as he starts to develop. Remember, he's only in year 3. We're only 6 games into the season, and he's already shooting pretty good, 68, about 38%, as you mentioned. And if you look at his finishing around the rim, 55%, upped it to 74% this season. Shots less than 5 feet from the rim, he's shooting that at 71%, which is up from 52% last season. And then at shots under 8 feet, he's shooting it at 64% this season compared to 49%. So you take all that, you take the 38% shooting from 3, and then you add in the defense that we're giving, or what we're being given from RJ out there on the court. He was able to go out there and make sure that DeMar DeRozan did not take our hearts as Knicks fans by forcing an extremely difficult shot to close that game. You already mentioned how he was a pest for Jason Tatum, and I expect RJ to continue to get better as the season goes on. We have new pieces on this team, so this team isn't even running or firing on all cylinders yet. So as this team continues to get better, we're going to see RJ, be able to do a little bit more as well, like facilitating. You said the point with Mitchell
6
Robinson.
rebounds, 3 assists, throw those in. Yep. All around, man. You can't ask any more.
Yeah, I like the way he's able to perform as a facilitator too. That's something I've always said RJ has the ability to do. And with the fact that he's now able to create off the dribble, he's finishing at the rim, something that defenses have to respect now, is going to open things up for players like Mitchell Robinson, Obi when they're on the court together, and even Nerlens Noel if he's able to catch when he returns.
What was that last part?
And Nerlens Noel, if he's
I thought you said Nerlens catch the ball. It's like Mr. Butterfingers. Whoa. Yeah, but we need Nerlens back. So hurry up back, Nerlens, man. We need you, man.
Definitely. Nerlens is a key piece of this team defensively. And, as long as he starts catching the ball, I think he'll see an increase in his points per game.
Yeah, but like you said, that's gravy. But for us, him being that help defense, if somebody breaks through our guards through the paint, to have somebody there as a intimidator and a deterrent, and that's what Nerlens does. So, yep.
So Foxy, any other young two-way players or young two-way prospects in the league you think could potentially challenge RJ for that title as being the best two-way young talent in this league?
Oh, that's a great question. You caught me off guard. I don't, offhand. There's a lot of good players.
DeAndre
but
Hunt is one of them when he's firing on all cylinders.
Cam's coming into his own at the end of last season, as we saw, and Reddish has put up a couple 20-point games already. So you have that, and
Zion, when healthy, we already mentioned him. He's a factor on both ends of the court.
Yeah, you did your investigative reporting last week. We saw the size of him, and with a Jones fracture and everything in that foot. Hail Mary, full of grace. I'm glad we didn't take him number one, didn't take him 3. So I Zion, I wish the kid well, but I just don't see a long career with somebody that size and the way he plays. So so getting back to your question, there's some nice kids in the league and stuff, but I think all around the key parts, some of them have one nice part. RJ is like, I think Jimmy Butler, I see, just trending out. Jimmy Butler with a better offensive game.
Yeah, he's a very versatile wing for us, and I'm extremely happy we decided to draft him. I know some people were chirping saying we made a mistake, but now, it looks like, I don't want to say I'm Monday morning quarterbacking or anything, but if RJ is going to continue to play like this, he is going to be a star for a very long time in this league.
And that look in his eyes, we talked on it, that he wants it. He's like looking at the players like, come on, I got you. So I love that dog. This is New York. Him going through the struggles. He is the perfect player for New York. We could have got some other buddy with potential, but you see them wither under the stress of New York media and fans. This guy is built for New York. We're very lucky. And you know what? He's going to get the bag.
Yep. Has that killer instinct, and it looks like he thrives in high pressure situations. And that's exactly what you need here in New York City.
Word.
All right. So Foxy, going to move ahead, and we're going to talk about the 3-point shooting that we've been seeing from the team so far. So the Knicks are on fire to start the season when it comes to their 3-point shooting. It's a big improvement from what we were doing last season. And also, I think the reason we're shooting so well from 3 has to be credited to 3 things. It has to be credited to Tibbs' philosophy. He wants us to go out there and shoot more threes this season. It's also in credit to the addition of Walker and Fournier. I've got both of their 3-point percentages on the screen showing how hot they've been from 3. And I also think has to do with Julius Randle. We've seen Julius Randle at times kind of hold on to the ball, but when he's moving the rock, this team is extremely hard to defend. So when he's being a willing passer out there and getting his teammates involved and having trust in his teammates, this team, we have enough shooters out there to abuse opposing teams. And I think those are the 3 of the reasons this team has gotten off to such a hot start from 3. Do you think, Foxy, that the Knicks can keep up this hot shooting? And if we do, just how good can the Knicks be this year?
Yeah, I don't think Walker's going to keep up at 58% or Rose, but I absolutely.
In terms of team shooting, though, because we're still only shooting 41% as a team. So individually, you would think maybe they would come down, but as a team,
but we shot 39% last year, so 41% with superior shooters. Versus Bullock. Fournier, as we're seeing, folks, is a much better all-around shooter and player than Bullock, who's averaging 6 points at Dallas, in case anyone's interested. And also, one of the things, we're better by subtraction. No Elfrid Payton. The world gets better. As I said, he's a pace vampire. He's a spacing vampire. Wow, what a team. What happens to a team with no Payton, and then you add Kemba? The things that also is exciting to me is that Randall shooting 33%. He shot 40%, so he's not into his groove yet. RJ shooting 38% as you had, but I think he's going to go over the 40 mark again. He has a gorgeous stroke from catch and shoot and stuff like that. And the 2 other things, which I know it's been, of concern, but Quick is shooting 22.7%. He's too good of a shooter, folks. he's going to come around. He's too good of a shooter to shoot 27%. He's been in a funk for a little while, but Tibbs is cool. Hopefully that patience will pay off for him, but he's going to shoot better than 22%. He's just too good of a shooter. And Obi shooting 16.7% from three. We know he's not the greatest shooter, but again, that has to come up. So, that I'm real happy about that. But the shooting and the impact. So after 6 games, folks, we're second in the league with 117 points per game, and we're 18th in the league in points allowed with 109.8. So that's a difference or a delta of 7.2 points. Last year, we were 26th in the league with 107 points per game, and we're first in points allowed at 104.7 for a difference of 2.3. So you can see that we're lighting it up. So yeah, we could let in a few more points. But you know what? Keish touched on it earlier. All the things we're talking about is, we said earlier in a couple, last week and a couple shows prior to that these guys are going to take about 10 or 15 games, meetings, especially Fournier and Kemba, to get the rhythm, find, the spots of their players, the other players to find their spots. We're only 6 games in, and we're going, like you said, we're going on this. What's going to happen when they really get into a groove with each other? So we're number 1 in 3-point percentage. 41 per game, 11 more than last year. Yesterday's game, folks, we shot 58.7% from three. I don't know if I've ever seen a team number that high. And also, one of the most important parts of why I think it's coming all together is that we're 12th in assists with 23.8. So, which is huge, because last year we were 29th in the league. So that ball movement. And so that offense of Kemba and Fournier negates the defense we lost with Payton and Bullock. So we can give up a few more points because we're lighting it up.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes a good defense is a phenomenal offense, right?
Yep, no doubt. And meaning it can cover, it covers all those type of problems. So all the woes that we had with Kemba, once that offensive game, he started getting into his groove. We can deal with some defensive lapses when you're shooting, 22 of 38 from three. You keep doing that, Kemba. Foxy and the Knicks Nation ain't going to say nothing about your D as long as we keep winning.
Just to compare what we did, what we're doing this season to what we did last year. Last year, we took 11.8 threes per game. This year, we took 30 threes per game last year. This year, we're taking 41. And last year, we only dropped about 11.8 threes per game. Now we're making 16.7. So that's about 5 more. 5 threes, 15. So that's about 15 more points in production right there alone. And the percentages is up a few ticks to 41% over 39%. So this team, we said it in the offseason, we have a team full of shooters right now. And a few of them are hot. We hope players, like you said, quickly are going to get things going. I'm not too concerned about him, but I think if some of those players were actually hitting their shot, imagine what our team 3-point.
That's my point. Exactly.
It'd be crazy.
That, and also some of the games where they may have taken shots, if they're hitting them, it just extends the leads and stops the other team from coming back. We've had a couple issues in the fourth quarter, as we know, a couple of cardiac games, too old for this stuff. But if those other guys start hitting jumpers, wow, watch out.
Yeah, Foxy, just to shout out a few people in the chat. We've got Jay.
Oh, the family.
Yeah, he's saying it don't get no better than this. The young Warner and the young Stuart Scott of the podcast. Get those like buttons up, please. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Make sure you guys stay to the end of the show. We actually have Jay Boogie. He's going to close the show. And we have a new song to debut. Well, no, it's going to debut here on the channel, but I think it's been played on other channels already. But it's called The Squad. All right, so we're going to be closing the show with it. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
And
White
just
Falcon.
shouting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, White Falcon, like you said, shout out to our guy Chop Low. We love Chop Low. Hey, shout out Latrell Sprewell. Hope Alana and the family's doing well, as always. Heck Breezo, enjoyed talking with you earlier. Boost Mobile, Lex the Destroyer, just some of the great mods in all of the fandom. Justin L, one of my best friends. So Justin L, man, great mod. Salute, appreciate all your support, man. You're awesome.
Yep. Tricky Nicky is saying if the Knicks break the record of 3 points made this season for a team, I wouldn't be surprised. If they keep shooting like this, we have already broken our personal team record when it comes to 3 points made. So I would not
Yeah,
be shocked if we give it a little run for it. Run for its
yeah.
money.
Hey,
What
Tricky,
about you,
hope
Fox?
all. Yeah,
You
just
think we'll
wanted to
be
say
able
hey,
to?
hi, Tricky. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be close, man. Like you said, we're putting up numbers, and the guys, they're great shooters. And this league now, they're just draining them. So I would not be surprised. But shout out, Tricky. Hope all is well with you and the kids. So yeah, I would not be surprised if that happened, man. Black University, yo, thank you, longtime supporter. Adele Chapman, longtime supporter. D. Ross, God, we're so blessed, man. We have such great supporters. We really, really appreciate it, folks.
Also, Foxy, we got 23 likes, but it seems like we got 83 in chat. So, guys, can you smash that like button for us? We dropping content. We're here on Sundays at 8 p.m. We started a little bit early, but this is going to be the new time slot. So, for those of you guys that are following the shows on Sunday, make sure you're tuned in 8 p.m. Let's see.
Just real quick,
Foxy,
besides hitting
go
that
ahead.
like, make sure you hit that subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, it'll be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Please turn on that all notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the wonderful content that Quis puts out on Sports Vibe TV. Please share the link on your favorite social media platforms. And last but not least, like I always say, shout out to the best mods on the planet. We appreciate all you do.
So, Foxy, what do you think is more surprising? Kimber Walker's 3 point percentage to start the season, or the fact that RJ's been so efficient finishing at the rim?
Um, I don't, just meaning I've always had concerns, and if you play back, folks, the last couple of weeks, you heard me say that Kemba's offensive game is going to come together. He's an offensive force, so I'm not surprised that that's why Kemba's Kemba. Why he has the reputation. So him getting into his groove and lighting it up doesn't surprise me. And RJ just showing the same thing that he showed on 3-pointers at that the things that are not in his game. He works so hard, this kid, to refine his skill set, that him becoming more efficient. I love somebody who has a look in their eye like they want to become great. He's working hard not to be a good player. He's working hard to be a great player. He's working hard to be a great all-around player. So neither of them have surprised me at all. My expectations of Kemba and Bronx Boy, he's a blink away from me in the Castle Hill Projects where he grew up in Soundview. 2125 Randall Avenue, shout out. But yeah, man. And like I said, all of these guys coming together. Hey, folks, Fournier, just how many times have we seen him in the passing lane with steals, deflections, and he's first finding out these guys. So smart, high IQ player, beautiful stroke, nice chemistry between him and Randall developing too. And folks,
little two-man game.
You've heard me say for Christmas, if I could have anything for Christmas on my Christmas list, I have a 6'9", 7-foot plus wingspan, small forward who can shoot from three and plays mean defense. I don't know if I'm going to get that for Christmas, but something I think that's attainable for Christmas is Tibbs. If you're watching, please don't let Randall bring the ball up anymore. Please don't let him do that, because I study as the folks in my study. I think it just creates bad behaviors, man. He brings that ball up, dribbles it up. Then usually he gives it to somebody who does a dribble handoff back to him, and you're like, there goes 15 seconds off the clock. Let the guards bring the ball up. Randall, get down the court, get into your spot, or go in your rotation to get your spots. Don't bring the ball up anymore, please. I think that's a Christmas present that's attainable. And he, especially when he dribbles this guy without picking his head up. So Julius is going to be great. He's a constant force, 2010, and we love him. But a couple of things, we got rid of that spin from hell a couple of years ago. Folks, let's get rid of him dribbling the ball up, please.
Yeah, we have a point guard. Foxy, I want to give a special shout out, 23 Blade. We bumped into him in the parking lot at the Celtics game.
Yeah.
Remember I mentioned that Inf and I bumped into a subscriber.
Yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah, it was 23 Blade. So shout out to him. Cool dude. He was able to dap it up. I was kind of in a rush, so we didn't get to chop it up for too long, but we definitely spent a couple minutes discussing the game. He said he was liked what I was doing here on the channel. So salute. Thank you for pulling back up and supporting.
Definitely.
See. Adele Chapman is saying we need to get a better shoe guy for our man Mitch. I don't want to see him injured. That was scary because Foxy, he burst through the shoe, and if you look at the fifth metatarsal, when your ankle, bends like that, when you sprain your ankle, your fifth metatarsal could come in contact with the floor. So you already have an injury with a high probability of reoccurring. I was extremely nervous. Just like everything that happened.
I was doing my Fred Sanford impersonation. This is the third time this year. It's like, oh my God, I think he hurt his hammy in one game. Oh my God, I think somebody stepped on that surgically repaired foot. And then like, oh my God, he's down. He split his shoe. And I'm like, oh Lord, please, God, please. So when he came back with them blue shoes on and looked like he wasn't impacted, I was like, Lord, thank you, because there's not a player on this team that is as valuable as Mitch. Our season, and I really think our future goes as long as Mitch. If Mitch stays healthy. And we saw, man, did you see him against Embiid? The size difference of 2 years ago and the size of him now. Whoa, he got chewed up yesterday, but you know what? He's getting back into shape. And you know what, Valanciunas, he did that the game before he played us, so he's a very good center in this league. He's a beast. So, but
he gets his numbers.
He gets his numbers.
It may not contribute to wins a lot, but he gets his numbers.
If we can keep him healthy, oh my God, this team is going to go to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to take much for us to really get to the next level. Look what it took for RJ to get to the next level. Just finishing around the rim. This team, we've got so much talent that all we need is one or two things to click. And right now, we're 5-1. Things have not gone our way in every single game. We've seen teams claw back late in games, but for one thing, we've found ways to leave that game with a W. And we should be 6-0 right now, Foxy, if you want to be honest.
We should be 6-0, but things happen for a reason. That maybe was a good wake-up call for us to just say, yo, this could happen to any night. And what did I say to you before the game last night? That, you know what? I get worried. Devontae Graham is like a Terrence Ross. He's a Nick killer. I get worried with guys like that. They can light it up. And, we talked about Jonas at the center position and stuff like that. So I'm glad we got away with that. But you know what? So if we're winning these games and we're still finding out each other, the new guy is finding out, and hopefully somebody will get Alec Burks in a headlock. And I watch a lot of the games with my guy Hadouken, so we're texting back and forth, and we're watching the game together yesterday, and we're saying to each other, Jesus, why is Burks over dribbling? God, he's ruining the team, the ball movement on that second team and stuff. And I know you brought it up earlier, like, yo, is this what Burks did it against Atlanta, where he can light it up, but don't be a chucker, man. You got other guys, especially in that second team. So if we could just get Burks to pass the ball a little more and not over dribble, I think a lot of us will be happy.
Definitely. Yeah. Also, want to give a quick shout out to Michael West with a $2 super sticker. Let me head over to YouTube Studio so I can actually see the sticker itself. Game over. Oh, it's the same hippo, I think. Yeah, nice one. Nice one, Michael West. Thank you for supporting the channel. You always pull up and send a nice sticker or a nice super chat. So I appreciate the support.
And can I say something to Michael?
Go ahead.
Do you see the one right there? Hey, Fox, you were just ragging on RJ the other day. Michael, we talked about this. If RJ has an off game or if somebody beats him backdoor, do you want me to say, oh, that's cool? So I just call it. But hey, man, I'm a big RJ fan. He's a young man. I want the world for him. So I'm not ragging on him. I'm just pointing out I wouldn't be doing due diligence as an analyst if I didn't see areas of improvement. We're not saying he sucks. Don't hear those words come out of our mouth. We're just saying there are areas of improvement, and this young man is taking the bull by the horns and embracing that. So there's much respect for RJ. There's no ragging here.
We also have a $2 super chat from White Falcon 44. He's saying trade Randall, Burks, Knox for Paul George and Batum. Scared. Foxy?
No, thank you. Paul George, what did he do in the playoffs the last few years when he, before Kawhi got hurt and stuff like that? It's not the same Paul George, old Paul George. I'll pull the trigger. This ain't the same Paul George. I think there's a lot of mileage on that. So, let's just keep developing in-house. The thing that bothers me is we have a really good foundation, folks. I don't want to take away from that foundation. I want to add a piece, but I don't want to take away from our foundation to get another piece. We don't have that type of talent. So let's keep what we have. Let's keep developing. We have 6 first-round picks. Let's, and Rose we trust, Leon Rose. Let's see what we do in the next.
Both Rose we trust. We got a whole Rose garden.
I know we got a whole. I like the way that sounds. We have a whole Rose garden. But I'm just being patient. But we're seeing us as. Pardon me. You seeing us getting better and better. So I'm going to be patient, and I think it's going to pay off for us.
Foxy, our guy Ron is in the chat saying Kemba has been more aggressive, and in this system, he's been more efficient than he's ever been in his whole career. Even his defense is looking a little bit better. Yeah, he's been intercepting passes too, a couple of steals. I like his knowing where to be or knowing where the ball's about to go. Even if he's not able to physically stay in front of people, at least he has a good idea of what's going on, and he's not looking as confused as he did to end the fourth quarter of that Celtics game. So he's definitely made some improvements from there.
Yeah, no doubt. So just looking Justin L, our guy Justin, Mitch is a big part of what our season is going to be and how he's already developing in his role with his added weight and improved discipline. Well said as always. Ron Cowan, again, one of our favorites, always in sight in his comments. Kemba has been more aggressive, and in this system, he's been more efficient than he's ever been in his whole career. Even his defense is looking a little better. Yeah, if he lights it up like that, Ron, I think everybody's, and I think he will. He's always been an offensive force, so I don't think this is, that he's on a hot streak. This is Kemba, and I don't think we've seen him yet.
58% from 3, I think, is a hot streak, Fox.
No. I agree. I can't argue there. You're right, but I definitely see him lighting it up, man. So. I think the adrenaline, the New York crowd, they keep those numbers up, man. He's home. Our boy is home.
Yeah, Jay Boogie is saying Paul George smashed the playoffs last year, but no for the trade. Yeah, I would if I could get Paul George without having to give up Julius Randle or anything or any pieces of the core, and just maybe trade draft capital. Then fine, you have me at the table. But I don't want to give up, and like you said, I don't want to give up anybody in this core because I think we have something that could be special. We just need that one more piece. That one more piece. We just need that additional piece.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yo, Frequency, shout out, man. Good guy, talented man. I hope all is well with you and the family.
Yeah. So Foxy, let's get into the preview section of the show.
Okay.
Talking about the game coming up on Monday against the Toronto Raptors. So I went ahead and I pulled some of the stats just to do a little tail of the tape. So you're looking at the Raptors right now. They're averaging 103.7 points per game, which is good for 22nd in the league. They're averaging 19 assists per game, which is good for 28th in the league. 48.4 rebounds per game, which is 8th in the league. And then field goal, they're shooting 42.6%, which is 24th. And 32.5 from 3, which is 20th. Anything that you have or anything that you're looking at for the Knicks to try to avoid in what could be a trap game, because you're looking at the Raptors. They've got long, lengthy guards that switch and not guards, but lengthy defenders that switch a lot. And we've seen times where lengthy defenders can be issues for RJ, Julius Randle, and the Knicks in general. So is there anything the Knicks have to do if we want to make sure that we come out of this game victorious?
Yeah, bring a Glock and take out Scotty Barnes. Folks, did you see him take a rebound the other night, goes coast to coast on 3 dribbles and jams it? This kid is electric. OMG, man. This kid's magnificent. I can't, whomever he's going to be guarding, like you said, he has a finger issue, so I think he'll be playing. But his motor, his passing, this is something special. But Anunoby, they have Gary Trent, Precious Achua is playing well since they got him from Miami, so on points, Scotty Barnes, on rebounds, Scotty Barnes, they have Fred VanVleet, they have Gore in there from Miami, Boucher's there on the defensive side on blocks and stuff like that. And they're a well-coached team. So that's one thing about them. When you're going against Toronto, they're feeling their way up. They're always going to be a well-coached team. And so it's going to be anytime you play somebody in this Eastern Conference, it's going to be they're 4-3, they're 7th in the conference. So yeah, and like I said, I'm really interested in seeing who Scotty's going to be on, because the game after Jaylen Brown went off for 46 on us, Scotty held him to 9 points. So this guy is on, we know RJ is going to be on that all defensive team for years. I think another guy that may be joining RJ on that for years is Scotty Barnes. So I think it's going to be a good game. I think we're going to win that game. I definitely think we're going to be winning that game. And I think very strongly that we're going to be going this coming Friday night 7-1 against Milwaukee at a home game. So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I think it's a good game. But I definitely think we're going to beat Toronto.
Yeah, this team also doesn't give up a lot of points, so I'm expecting it to be a closer game based on how their defense intensity is to start the game. And we've had some trouble when it comes to defense as well. So I hope this isn't one of those games where we're in the fourth quarter and because we get locked up, we're another instance where it's the Magic game. So that's my biggest concern. Let's try and get a decent lead. Let's try to be comfortable or lead comfortably in the fourth quarter. So that way, if things get tight, we don't have players like Julius Randle missing 2 crucial free throws. We don't have Alec Burks giving the ball up and things like that. That's my biggest concern. We allow them to stay in the game too long. And at the end of the game, they're able to kind of mount a little comeback and pull out the W.
Yeah. Other than VanVleet, there's not a lot of guys that I have respect for him, but I don't think there's a lot of guys on that roster that's going to scare me from 3 or lighting it up. They're not like a Miami or that you're like, oh man, that's a scary team for us to play. They're getting into their groove. So they have some good players, but I think we have a better team. We have better depth, and can't wait.
Yeah. Adele Chapman saying, want to see how Moody is doing. Boost Mobile saying we need 50 more likes. Facts. Right now we're at 44 likes with 131 in chat. Come on, guys. Make sure you smash that like button. We're here previewing the next 3 games on the schedule. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel as well for more Knicks content.
Yep. Shout out to my friend Ron, still Knicks fans. Great guy, folks. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, check him out. Him and his buddy John. Great content. New look, but same great content. So shout out to Ron and still Knicks fans. And again, I mentioned earlier, my friend Hadouken. Please, if you haven't subscribed to Hadouken's channel, please do that. He has great eye. I just love his eye for basketball. I could talk to that young guy we probably watch every game together and then shoot back and forth. So he's a good guy, Hadouken. So.
Yeah. Also, if you look at the points for the Toronto Raptors, you've got Scotty Barnes averaging 18.1 points for the Raptors. OG Anunoby averaging 18 points. Fred VanVleet coming in at 17. Scotty Barnes also leading the team in rebounds with 8 per game. 8.9, I apologize. Precious Achua comes in second at 8.6. And then Fred VanVleet is one of the leading rebounders at 5.6. If you're going to talk about assists, Fred VanVleet leads the team with 7.3 assists. OG Anunoby pops up again at 2.5 assists per game.
It's a big drop, yeah.
Yeah, that was more like alphabet soup trying to get the name out.
Word, I'm telling you, there's times I see it, I'm like, oh God. So, yeah. But we won't be seeing Pascal Siakam. He's out, folks, with a shoulder injury. So, so we lucked out not having Ingram on the Pels, and it looks like we're going to have, we know we're not going to have Siakam, who's a fine player. So just wanted to give that injury report update.
Also, we have a $5 super chat from Adele Chapman. He's saying support with a bunch of exclamation marks. Thank you, Adele, for the support. Greatly appreciated. We'll be here
Yeah.
every Sunday, 8 p.m. Me and Foxy live streaming.
Adele is so generous and so cool for a long time. Great supporter. You're so good, man.
The one dislike was the guy who said G League RJ Barrett. That's from Frederick. That was a good one.
Yo, I love my Frederick. Hey, Frederick. Hope all is well with you and the family. Frederick's so cool.
Saying, oh, I apologize, Foxy.
No.
Frequency is saying I predict a Knicks win, but hopefully Randall has learned a lesson from the end of these last few games. Me as well, because he's struggled to close games both last season and this season. So hopefully he figures it out. I like it when he's moving the rock. I've said that time and time again. That's when this team is at its best. So if he is struggling out there, I don't want to see him forcing the issue. That's the key.
You see Ron Cowan's comment? The Knicks are still working out some kinks. Imagine when the Knicks become that 48-minute team that Tibbs be talking about. We're going to be a problem. God, I love when Ron, he has said, that's poetry, man. That is exactly right. We played 45, 46 minutes the other night. Really great.
Against the Bulls, yep.
Yeah. So let's get those 48, like Ron said, and watch out, folks. Watch out. And we're going to get those 48 because these guys want it. I love a hungry team.
Yeah, D Public Enemy is saying Knicks can't afford to continue the hiccups they've been having in past games. The Knicks will be down by 18 to 24 points. I don't see us going into a drought in which we'll be facing a potential blowout. That's one thing I really don't see with this team. I think we have too much offensive firepower, and Tibbs is too quick to call a timeout to try to right the ship to allow that to happen.
Yeah, we're going to have games like we had Orlando where we shot terrible. That's going to happen. That happens to all teams, but it's about, the trend, not the isolated data point. And I think that we just have way too many shooters, and we have so many shooters that even, like we said, IQ shooting 22.7%, Nobi 16.7%. All the other guys compensate for that because they're lighting it up. And you know what? When IQ gets his rhythm and he starts lighting it up, it'll, maybe the other guys will be slumping. So one guy's pick up the others, man. So that's what a team's all about, man. It averages out.
Yeah. Adele, it's another comment. Got to show love, bro. When is Noel stepping on the court? How do you feel about Taj? Is he starting to push Noel out the way? It's funny. They just dropped an article too. I forgot if it was the Post or the Daily News talking about Taj saying he understands when Noel comes, he's going to be sent back to being a third string center and not seeing too many minutes. So I think Noel is nearing a return. There's been reports that he may return against the Raptors. It's still going to be a game time decision. So hopefully that'll be the game he comes back. But I like what Taj has been able to contribute so far. He's been doing the dirty work down in the paint, and he's been providing timely buckets when we need them. So
he had 4 offensive rebounds the other day. Yeah. So you can't, meaning he's a player coach. He's literally like having a coach on the court with these guys, tell them, communicating where they're supposed to be on the court. The funny thing is him and Obi, when we were going over percentages at the rim, they haven't missed a shot. Taj is, I think, from 0 to 3%, 0 to 3 feet on Basketball Reference. Him and Obi are almost shooting 100%, man, which is unbelievable. And Mitch is shooting 90 something, so which we always expect from Mitch. But I know
he's only dunking the ball or dropping the ball from above the rim.
Yeah. Quick shout out to my friend Dripmore. He's a great guy. I've been talking to him for a long time. Dripmore, hope all is well with your family. Salute to Jonathan Green. Hope all is well, man. We appreciate all your support.
Jay Boogie is saying, can you drop the Cash App link? I'll be able to put it in the description after the show. If you want to support via Cash App, it's just the $ Sports Vibes TV.
Yeah, he's so wonderful, isn't he? He's such a generous person, man.
Jay Boogie. D Ross is saying still on pace for 9-1. The Bucks have to pay for the Magic loss.
Well said, man.
Lex the Destroyer, one of the mods of the channel. Appreciate your support. You as well as Boost Mobile, Justin L. He's saying #new. If you're new, drop the #new so we can shout you out.
Exactly. So
all right, Foxy, let's move into the next game. We have a game Wednesday as well, going up against the Indiana Pacers. So Pacers so far this season averaging 108.4 points, which is good for 15th in the league, averaging 23.1 assists per game, 45.9 rebounds per game. They're shooting 45% from the field and 33.9% from the three-point line, which you can round up to 34. Now, the Pacers have gotten off to a slow start with Rick Carlisle. Brogdon has been missing the last few games because of a hamstring injury. You've got LeVert on a minutes restriction. So what are the Knicks going to have to do to make sure the Pacers don't try to get right and get back on track with a win over us on Wednesday?
Well, a couple things. First of all, I'm shocked. I thought Carlisle, I'm really shocked that they're 1-6, 15th in the Eastern Conference. I thought Carlisle would have had right out of the gate a much more, a bigger impact. But one of the things working in our favor is that Brogdon's day-to-day with a hammy. And Brogdon's a real good player, but as we all know, he gets, he's injured a lot, that guy. So hopefully his hammy needs a few more days because he's that good of a player. But Isaiah Jackson, their first round draft choice, is out with a knee injury. TJ Warren's out with a foot injury. And, Kellen Martin is day to day. But if Brogdon's out, it makes a huge difference. LeVert's back. So I think he's coming in, he's getting his groove in. But again, if we play Knick basketball, Randall plays historically well against Sabonis. Turner, he's not much of a rebounder and stuff like that. No, he's a good rebounder, but not an elite rebounder. He's averaging 7, but when you're a giant like that, you expect maybe, double digits. So, so I just look at them. Brogdon's their leading scorer at 23 a game. So if he's not playing, or not up to, a hammy will hold you back. That's going to bode well for us.
Yeah, just to get into a few comments, Tricky Nicky is saying I'm new, but maybe tricking me. Kevin Anderson is also saying I'm new. So shout out to you guys if you are in fact new.
Yeah, Tricky Nicky again. Thank you for all your support, man. And he may be new here, but he's not new to the Knick fandom. Everybody knows good old Tricky Nicky.
Yeah, so Foxy, I've also got the leading scorers, rebounders, and assist makers for the Indiana Pacers. Like you said, Brogdon is leading the team in points. Sabonis comes in second, 20.9. That'll be a good matchup, Sabonis versus Randall. They've had some feuds throughout the years. Well, throughout the years. They had a feud last year in the few games we played. Duarte, the rookie, had a pretty good start to the season. I say pretty good a lot. He had a real good start to the season, averaging 17.7 with rebounds. Sabonis leading the team 11.1. You've got Miles Turner at 7.4, and Brogdon also one of the leading rebounders with 7 rebounds and assists. Brogdon 7 assists there as well. McConnell 4.9, and Sabonis popping up with 4.1. So pretty much Brogdon and Sabonis will do the bulk of the damage for the Indiana Pacers. And like you said, if Brogdon is going to be out or not 100%, that does bode well for the New York Knicks. And I expect this to be another win on the schedule.
Yeah, Duarte is beautiful, man. He, people are like, oh, he's the oldest rookie kid being drafted this year. Well, I love his game, man. He's very composed, beautiful stroke, good off ball defender, and then, like I said, LeVert is a microwave. That guy can turn it on. So I would not be surprised to see LeVert have have one of those games. But yeah. So the TJ McConnell is always a pest, always up in the league in steals and stuff like that. This year he's only averaging a little less than 1, but he usually picks it up. So yeah, but Miles Turner is almost 3 blocks a game. So he's always there. So he's always going to be intimidating. But I want our guys to go up. So yeah, what I always like is us to go against those guys, get them in foul trouble, go right at them. Go right at him.
I think Turner had a 40-point game, I think, in the second game of the season. He's had some pretty good games to start. Well, he had a good game to start. I think the next 3 games, he really wasn't too much of a factor offensively. But I think Mitch is going to have his hands full. I think one thing Mitch has an issue with so far is trying to contest the 3-point shot. And we know Turner's going to put some threes up. So hopefully Mitch is able to step out there, stop Turner from knocking down some tray bombs.
Yeah, I was talking to our friend George from Into the Knicks First, and again, check it out. Great content, great guy. And I was saying to him, yo, do you think it's conditioning or the extra weight? It seems like his hops are being impacted and or his second bounce. And like you said, getting out on the perimeter. So our friend George said, I think it's the conditioning. So I'm going to think positive and agree with George that it's not the additional weight that's slowing him down, but he'll get into his groove. Mitch, he seems, I don't know, more mature or whatever, but if he stays healthy, like I said, I'd be happy if Mitch is part of this team for the future.
Yeah. So Foxy, we talked about the first two games, one on Monday, one on Wednesday, and it's going to lead into a big matchup against the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. Now the Bucks, they really haven't had the greatest start. They're 3-3 at the moment, but with Giannis on that team, they're
He's a monster.
yeah, exactly. He's liable to take over at any point in the game. So heading into that game, as of right now, they're 13th ranked in terms of point per game at 110.5, 21.8 assists per game, 45.5 rebounds per game, 44.4 is their field goal percentage, and they're shooting 32.4 from three. So Foxy, this is going to be a litmus test for our New York Knicks. Are we for real? And we have the possibility of entering this game at 7-1. So if we are able to come out with a win over the Milwaukee Bucks, I think we're going to put everyone on notice if they aren't on notice already.
Yeah, aren't you going to that game at the Garden?
I have tickets. I don't know if I'm going yet.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say it's going to be wild, like you said, but I think very strongly that it's going to be 7-1. I think it's going to be on national TV too. I think that, yeah. So I think, like you said, great way to say it, a litmus test to see how good we are. And again, Kemba and Fournier are not in their groove, but yeah, it's going to be good. Again, from the injury report, DiVincenzo's out with a foot injury. Drew Holiday's out with a left ankle. I don't know how long, we have till Friday, but at the moment, Brook Lopez is out with a back injury, and Chris Middleton has an illness. I don't know what that illness is, but if any of those guys are out, that'll have a big impact in favor for us, because Drew Holiday is all-world defender. He's, you saw him in the playoffs last year. He's special, and he's been special for a long time. Brook Lopez is a smart guy, and he does that spacing from his 3-point. And Middleton is a killer, man. He's the closer on that team in a lot of ways. But as we were saying, Giannis, man, almost 28 points per game, almost 12 rebounds per game. What is it? 6 assists. He's a monster. He's getting better at everything, and his shooting. So it's going to be, Giannis is going to get his points. So we're just, if we can hold him to 25 points and then, keep everybody else down, the Middletons, if he doesn't play, and I think we have a really good shot. Hey, we beat them last year. So, and we have a better team this year. And they don't have PJ Tucker, and they don't have some of the guys that helped them to that championship. So I think they're finding their way with some of the missing pieces that they had from their championship team. And we have guys that are pushing us. We're a different team. You take out Peyton and bring in Kemba, and now with Fournier and everything, we are a different team.
Yeah, like you said, Foxy, Giannis is pretty much leading the Bucks in almost all of their per game stats. You said almost 28. Middleton is next at 20 points per game. Drew Holiday, 14 points per game. Pat Connaughton is their second leading rebounder at 5.5. Brook Lopez at 5, but you're saying he's dealing with some injuries. And then Antetokounmpo, he's running that point forward for him, averages 6 assists. Chris Middleton is next at 4.5, and Drew Holiday with 3. It'll be interesting to see who'll be available. I want them to be healthy, because I want us to go out there and get a W, and I don't want any excuses.
Yeah, I want the W, so I'll take anything. Pardon me. I'll take anything we can get, but a little later in the season, like I said, I want us to be 20 games in where we got everybody in condition. Mitch is back into basketball condition, and Kemba and Fournier know all their guys. Everybody's in sync with each other. Then right now we're still working out some flaws. So if we lose a game, I'm not going to be upset about it, because, hey, it's still early in the season with new guys and stuff like that. But I think it, like you said, it'll be a calling card for the league if we take them out and all of a sudden we're 8-1 at that point.
Yeah. Still, let me see what's going on here. Just looking at the chat. Michael West is saying win one game at a time. Like the Destroyer says, I think we can beat them. They just got spanked. I was about to say spanked. They just got smacked by the Spurs.
Yep. That's the
Yeah,
weird thing. The weird thing this
Go ahead.
year, so far this season, whether Denver or a couple of games where you're like, yo, I wasn't expecting them to get spanked, and you see the Lakers didn't come out real hot this year. They'll get it together,
Giving
obviously.
the ball up.
Yeah. So and not knowing how Westbrook's going to jive on that team with his type of game, but yeah, it's that type of it's early in the season, anything can happen, and but we beat them in the past. We have a better team, and I wouldn't be surprised we beat them again.
Yeah. So Foxy, right now we got 71 likes, but we have 167 in chat. So chat, SV Nation, do us a solid, smash that like button. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It's a way to support the channel. It's free, doesn't cost anything, but a moment of your time. So do us a solid, smash that like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you have notifications set to all. That way you're notified whenever I drop an edited video or I'm live with either Foxy, Solo, or with my guy, Inf.
Yep. Share that link on your favorite social media platforms. And again, shout out to the best mods on the planet. We appreciate all you do.
Yeah. So Foxy, it's time to open up the chat.
Yeah. You know what time
Sports
it is?
Vibes TV Lounge session.
That's right. It's Sports Vibes Lounge time, folks. Time for us to chill and you take the show over. So whatever you want to talk about on our Knicks or anything else you want to talk about, we love this part. So folks, time for us to hang with you. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, let us know in the chat.
Yeah, Ron Cowan, there's more parity in the league than people realize. Yep. And like you said, Ron, on a given night, any team can beat another team, man. There's just so much talent that we saw it with Orlando, and we'll see it with other things. That there's just a lot of talent. It's encouraging because there's a lot of young talent that over the next few years it's going to be really exciting. That this league is going to have star after star after star. Man, you turn on game after game, like whoa.
Yeah,
so
it's a different player showing you flashes every time you flip through the NBA League Pass.
Yep.
All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. See if you have any questions.
Jerome Dragon, anyone, please, if this is your first time joining Sports Vibe TV, please let us know so we can give you the proper welcome and a proper shout out. He says, seems to me the first unit is getting the rest they need. Yep. Although there's sometimes I want the second unit, especially D-Rose and some of the games to close, but I have no complaints.
Let's see. Brandon McNeely is saying, are you worried about Mitch after last night? Taj had to close the game for us. I'm not.
I'm worried about Mitch every game. I'm lighting a candle before every game with him.
Not his play, with his health. Yes,
his health. Obviously, his play. I'm not concerned about his play. Like I said, if he's this dominating, and also like you said on the shot with DeRozan with Chicago, God bless RJ. He was magnificent, but thank God for Mitch for that help defense. Also, he came from the side, so it was not only RJ, it was Mitch on that last shot, that air ball, and. So if Mitch, I just don't want, I'm too old for this, folks. I just don't want every game to have an incident where, oh my God, Mitch is down. Is he okay? Let us go through a little.
Mitch is down every game.
I know that, but one thing is down where he's down like that, but another thing where he's grimacing, you're like, oh no, is he hurt? Oh no, is he hurt? So I don't want to use up all my prayers so early in the season, but it seems like Mitch, every game, every Knick fan is like, oh God, please, no, he's only a couple of games in. Don't let this be an injury.
Yeah, it's definitely stressful being a Knicks fan, seeing Mitch loves to spend time on the floor, to put it nicely. But that's just his style of play. You just gotta hope he doesn't do something and get hurt. I think one thing I like about Mitch though is the fact that it's not really soft tissue injuries we see with Mitch. He's getting hurt and he's having these freakish injuries. So I won't say he's injury prone. I'm just saying the way he decides to play leaves him vulnerable to some of these freak injuries that we have seen him have.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm also a person into statistics. So I think statistically, he's due for some good health. He's run into
Hmm.
some things, whether that freak thing breaking his finger and losing time last year, and then obviously the foot injury was a non-contact injury, which is a freak injury. Didn't land on somebody's sneaker. He, it just stepped wrong, boom, and it happened. So I think the kid's due for some good luck, and I think he's due for a lot of good luck after 6 agents and everything else. I'm hoping that he has the yin. He's had enough yang lately.
We have another one in the chat. Foxy Worldwide Knicks one is saying, "What's your take on Randall thus far? I feel like he's not playing within the flow of the game and kind of regressing. Am I jumping the gun?" I think what happens with Randall is a lot of teams looked at what the Hawks did to us in the playoffs, and they're trying to do similar things. They're also getting creative. They're putting guards that are physical enough to kind of body up with Julius Randle. We saw that with Marcus Smart, and we also saw that with Lonzo. And when Julius Randle trusted his teammates and looks to make a play as opposed to trying to get his own shot, the Knicks play well. And I think Julius Randle may have games where he doesn't light up the box score, dropping 20 and 10, 30 and 10. But even in games like we saw with the Pelicans, where he went 4 of 9, he was solid at times when he was moving the rock. So as long as he's doing that, I'm perfectly fine with his play. But we do see times where he's a little bit of a ball stopper. And that's when I have issues with Julius Randle. But for the most part, I think he's been pretty solid. It's just stopping those moments where he decides I'm going to look for mine and not get his teammates involved. And honestly, I think a lot of those issues we have in the fourth quarter kind of stems from him being a ball stopper at times.
Yeah, that and again, Worldwide Knicks. If you're new, please subscribe. But I think it's a great question. And behind the scenes, I had these discussions with Quis and with Hadouken that I look for triggers. And Randall, when Randall doesn't play well, it's when we're not shooting well. And I think he has this mentality that this is my team, and I got to take it on my back. And that's when he doesn't do well. It's like if the team's not shooting well, then he starts pressing. Then he starts ISO Randall comes out, and everybody's like, "Oh man, this is the Randall from a couple of years ago. This is not what we want to see." So, and also, we saw some things over the last few games that the NBA is crazy, especially about watching film. We saw Alonzo Ball give him a lot of problems. We saw Marcus Smart when Boston. So I think around the league, we're going to start seeing, Devontae Graham. He had issues with Devontae Graham. So, which is crazy, considering the size difference. So, like you said, I don't want him dribbling the ball up any longer. Please get your spot, play within yourself, move that ball. And, and one of, from a conspiracy theory standpoint, talking to Duke last night saying, "Yo, did you see that look in Randall's face the other day?" Or, his energy was off. And on a couple plays yesterday, he had an air ball. He made a terrible play and didn't run back on defense. His energy was really off yesterday. And I was saying to Duke that, you know what? He's done everything, whether from contract, turned everything around, made second team All NBA, did such a service to the Knicks by not going for the max. He signed a little less than that. And then he had this look on his face over the last 2 games. He said to Duke, he had a look like, "Oh man, I'm worried. I'm doing all this. I've done everything they've asked of me. And this kid, RJ, is this going to be RJ's team? This is supposed to be my team." So I think RJ, he's getting nervous, like everything I'm doing, that this could still be RJ's team. But I think the beautiful thing, and I've said this before, that he is such a luxury, Julius, for years. When we looked at the next day's game, like the next game we're having, like what's going to happen? You could put down 20 and 10 every night for Randall. He's going through a little thing, but yeah, he'll get it together. And like I said, I love his chemistry that we've seen with Fournier. I think Fournier brings the best out of Randall, where, like you said, he makes him distribute, and he comes around for those curls, for the beautiful 3-point stroke, Fournier, that I love. That So I'm looking forward to some of the guys to keep him from regressing, because nobody wants retro Randall around here. Nobody.
Hmm. If I like the fact that you brought up Randall and Evan Fournier, because I think the Knicks were probably at their best when Julius Randle and Reggie Bullock were on the same page. So if we're going to be able to have Evan Fournier and Julius Randle have similar chemistry, and now you have Evan Fournier, who is a more talented player, much more versatile than this team. I mean, we keep saying it, we're not firing on all cylinders yet, but when we do, I think we're going to be extremely dangerous, Foxy.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to give
Shout out.
a shout out Louis Franco. He's saying first time watching. Thank you, Louis, for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed. That way you can tune in next Sunday at 8 o'clock when I'm live once again with my guy Stephen Fox.
Yeah, and also shout out Iroy Germain, also a first timer. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and join us on a weekly basis on Sunday nights. We know that you'll enjoy yourself. Hey, a shout out to Rick Pennington. He says, Randall don't think that way. I hope you're right, man. But I will say this. I loved RJ. There was a couple of close-up camera shots of RJ last night and the last couple of games, but last night he had fire in his eyes. He had I got you. He was, I know you don't like it, but he had that Maple Mamba look on his face, like, I'm a killer, man. And then the other game, I said to my wife, oh shit. She goes, what's wrong? I went, Randall's gonna miss these 2 shots. Look at his eyes, man. He looks scared. He looks scared. You don't look like a confident guy going to be shooting these shots. So hopefully that's just my conspiracy theory, Rick. And you're 100% right that Randall don't think that way. Hey, I can't ask any more Randall. Like I said, second team All NBA. You know how hard that is. So I have such great respect for Julius. I just want Julius to, it's a team game. Nobody wins ISO ball. Nobody wins. Show me. I've never seen a team win, especially in the playoffs, with ISO ball. Yo, shout out to my field producer, Ala Wise. But
are you pulled up?
Yeah.
Michael West has a question, Fox. He's saying, what is the problem in the fourth quarter? What do you think needs to be done to finish strong? Me personally, I think the main issues we have in the fourth quarter is at times we go ISO heavy. And that's when you see the stagnation. If we continue to just play, like for instance, the Chicago Bulls game, that was kind of taking our foot off the gas. But also the ball just stops at times. And I feel like if we keep moving the ball around the court and trying to find an open look and find the best shot, instead of trying to act like this is, the NBA in the early 2000s where, you can just clear out and allow Julius Randle to just try to beat his man one-on-one. I think once we stop doing that and start to trust each other out there on the court, we'll definitely see those struggles kind of go away. And also, I think they have to be a little bit more focused, because that Alec Burks potential turnover when he was inbounding the ball, I think that was brutal.
And he did that last year,
being a ball stopper.
Yeah, but I also think that it's going to come down. My answer to that, Michael, is that I think we need a hybrid. We know who our starters are. We know who our second team is, but we have to have a closing unit. And that closing unit to me is D Rose. I love Kemba. I love what he's done over these last games coming in. Can't ask any more. But D Rose has a different type of game for closing. And he's a better defensive player than Kemba. So I want D Rose. I want RJ. I want Fournier. I don't want Burks in there. A couple of the games like, what the hell don't you have Fournier in that? And we saw, him turn it on in the overtime with Boston and stuff. He's a shooter. And you saw what I just said about him and Randall. So Randall at the 4 and Mitch at the 5. That should be our closing team. So, you've heard me say I have some, and I know it's early in the season and Tibbs is in his lab and stuff, but I think we should have, Rose closing this game out, closing games out, and I think Fournier closing. I don't want Burks in there, man. And I have nothing against Burks. He's hit big shots for us and stuff like that. But it's like I don't want other teams I want us to be on all offense, all cylinders. And I think having a great closing team, the team I said is the best closing team that we have. I like D Rose as a closing dude. So
hey, you're gonna go with Burks to close and replace Fournier for defensive purposes. Why not see if we can get Grimes a little, Sean? Instead of playing these rookies with 3 seconds or 4 seconds left to go in the second half.
I know
if they can step up and make a shot.
Yeah, so I know, and I see Brandon McNeely he agrees about Rose being a closer. Hey, shout out Quiet Money just pulled up. One of the greats in the Knick fandom. Everybody loves Quiet Money, and rightly so. He's such a good guy.
Foxy Lex the Destroyer, one of our mods here on the channel, is saying, let's get to 100 likes. Hit the like button. Right now we're at 98. We just need 2 more, you guys, to get to 100. So can you guys do us a solid? Smash that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 100. Right now we're at 99. Hopefully within the next 5 minutes we can get to that beautiful century mark.
Yeah, and another person that has been a longtime friend, Bodega Wi-Fi, one of the greats,
Bodega
man.
Wi-Fi, salute.
Yeah, salute. I love my Bodega Wi-Fi. He knows his basketball and is just a really good dude. Michael West, I'll give credit. Fox makes sense. Hold on, where's that Roadcaster Pro? You need some sound effect here. Michael West said I made sense. Holy moly. A closing unit for the last 3 to 5 minutes of the game. So I'm only kidding, Michael. I'll have great, you're cool, man. I'm just goofing with you, man. Can't take you take the boy out of the Bronx, but you can't take the Bronx out of the boy.
Yeah, Jerome Dragoon is saying, once again, can Sims play power forward? I don't think so. I think
he can't even play center. So no, he cannot play. Meaning anyone, I don't see him getting any burn at the 4. I don't. I think he needs a lot of time in the summer league, in the G League, the summer league, but. Yeah, he's so raw, man. And the whole thing why I say that, why it's because of his instincts. It's funny. The kid, Amir Sims, his IQ is a phenomenal basketball IQ. And unfortunately, Jericho Sims with the 1M doesn't. So I'm glad he could bang his forehead up against the rim. But the reason you don't see him getting any time, even with Nerlens out, he just doesn't have the instinctually understands the game, and it's concerning because he came out as a senior. He's only 6 months younger than Mitch, so I don't see him there. So
Foxy,
Craig Mack,
SB Nation decided to one up me. I asked for 100 likes in the next 5 minutes, and we're already sitting at $112.
Yo, they love us and we love you. They're always so great. So Gregory Lee, also another one of our favorites. Julius needs to not have the ball in his hand. And this was saying, yo, you're preaching. I agree, man. Let our guards have the ball. Let him get to his spot and get it. And like I said, the thing that upsets me, he takes the ball, he dribbles up court, he comes into the front court, usually hands off, and then there's a screen, so it's a dribble pass back to him. It's 15 seconds off the 24-second clock. So that has to stop. We play much better. So Hans Guitar,
past the pace, especially.
Yeah, and that's been a huge change for this team. Our pace. So
scoring in transition. I think when you see Obi, RJ, even Quick, Derrick Rose, when they're out there in transition, that's when we see this team really excel. Especially that second unit. I think they move great in transition or play great in transition.
Gregory Lee, Tibbs has played nearly every rookie except McBride. Yeah, but you know what? He's playing him for 4 seconds. And as crazy as it sounds, that means something.
He played McBride for 4 seconds, though. He was in a, I forgot.
That's what I said. Yeah, he's played, and he played 3.4 before that. Seconds. So, but you know what?
Feet wet.
Yeah, he wouldn't even put him in for 3 seconds. Obviously he doesn't want his guys getting fouls, but you know what? It's a long season. We talked about early prior to the season concerns about having 2 point guards in their 30s, and that there's going to probably be a couple instances during the season where whether it's a tweaked ankle and stuff. Deuce, I love that kid's attitude. Just keep working hard in practice, and next man up if something happens.
Foxy, we got a new member of the SV Nation, Bagger Jones, saying first time on here. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate the support. Make sure you're subscribed. Also, you have notifications turned on. That way, when we're live again Sunday at 8 p.m., you can tune into the discussion and chop it up with us as we review all things Knicks.
Yeah. Shout out to my friend Hans Guitar. Always enjoy him. Hey, it's me. How are you? It's me. We have Rose and Kemba. I can't understand why we need Randall at the top of the key looking for a shot. Thank you. It's me. You and the rest of us feel the same way. Let the guards do that stuff, man. We don't need you doing that no more. And you'll still get your 20 points, Randall. You'll still get your bounds and your assists, but we don't need you doing that stuff up there, man. So in fact, if there's anyone I want to see up there, it's Obi. You know, Obi can pass well. I'd love to see him over there, in the pinch post doing some passing and stuff like that. And we haven't really seen that in his game. You know, Obi, he needs that jumper, man. He's wonderful in transition. He's probably one of the fastest in the league. You know, again, our fast break points are much better this year than they are last year. And he's much better than he is last year. But his game going to the next level, a mid-range jumper, and obviously his three-point shooting is holding him back. But add another thing to your arsenal. Let this kid, he has good IQ. Let him pass. Let him be at that top, like it's me just said, let Obi be at that top of the key passing. And if, Randall's at the top of the key, watch some Joker games and stuff like that. You can pass. You don't always have to, from that point, you don't always have to take that damn jumper. Yeah, Quiet Money. Obi needs a better handle as well. Quiet Money, God bless you, man. Yeah, those 6'9" handles. Yeah, the guards are just they got their fork and knife out every time they see Obi dribble. Like, yo, I'm gonna get a steal every time that guy gets the ball. So, yo.
Raphael Burgess is saying, "Damn, the hate on Randall tonight is too real." I'm not hating on Randall.
We're not hating. No, we just said he's a 20 and 10, 20 and 10 every night. But do Randall has an issue of not picking his head up. Do you like him getting stripped over the last couple of games like that? Yeah, we're just talking fundamentals and stuff. That this is a game about areas of development. So those are the things that we're not hating. We're talking about areas of development, and we're talking about pace. You have point guards you have guards for a reason. Let them dribble and bring the ball up. He's very talented, Randall, but you don't want him going around guys in this league with the hands that they got. Put him where. You got to put him in his spot where he's going to be successful. He doesn't have to do it all anymore. This is not the same team that he came into.
Yeah, Rick Penneting is saying we need the RJ Mitch pick and roll play ran more often. It's been automatic. Facts. I think RJ and Mitch have developed a real good chemistry over the time with the New York Knicks together, and we've seen it. Whenever they do get into sets, two-man play with each other, Mitch usually finds an open look. So if RJ gets better at that mid-range and becomes more deadly, I think that's going to be an explosive play that we can use, maybe even in the clutch. You don't want Mitch getting fouled and going to the line too often, but it's something that we can go to.
Yeah. Hey, he hit 2 in a row yesterday, so I lost money on that. Those quick bets. Oh, no, he's at the line. No way he's going to hit 2 in a row. That line drive, you're like, woo! So it's so funny. Some of the jumpers, D Rose jumper always stumps me. I always think it's going to come up short, because it's not a high arc shot, but it goes in, man. God bless him, man. I'm like, the Burks is the same way. They don't have that beautiful arc on their jumper. So always like, is that going to be short? Is that going to hit the front of the rim? No, it went in beautiful. Thank you. So they're hard to see, but Mitch, that form, I was hoping that he practiced a little more. 49% from the free throw line last year. And that's one of the things, again, from a development perspective, get the opposing centers in foul trouble. Get him down low, get a move and something, but his hop seems to be a little impacted. Let him get a little better condition in the next week or the next few weeks.
Fox, we got another question from Pauline Rodney saying, hi, this is for both of you guys. Question, do you think Randall will fade out on us in the playoffs again? I don't think he will. I think we have enough help that he is not going to be stressed too far this season. Look at the last few games. Julius Randle hasn't been overexerting himself in order to carry us to wins. He's had games where RJ steps up, Fournier steps up, Kimba steps up. So I think he doesn't have as much of a burden, and we're not going to see him fatigue as the season goes on. And I think in the playoffs now, if teams like the Hawks decide to game plan similarly to the way they were game planning against Julius Randle last season, he's going to have games where he'll have a bunch of assists and a bunch of rebounds, but we might not see the high point total. So I think that to me would not be him fading away. That would just be him adjusting based upon the way teams are playing us.
Yeah, and Pauline, if you're new, please let us know so we give you a proper shout out. But also, I think another crazy thing, Pauline, is that Tibbs is 25-36 lifetime in the playoffs, and he's 2-8 in his last 10 games in the playoffs. So we got, he got swept 4-1 in the last 2 playoff series, and obviously we saw 4-1 against Atlanta. So if he sees Randall doing some things that are not healthy for the team, I don't think that he's gonna think twice about yanking him or having a talk with him. I don't think he's gonna leave a guy in that's killing the ball movement and the spacing on the team. We've come, he's changed the mix on 3-pointers. The identity of this team is changing, the pace and everything. He's not going to let anyone, even Julius, do that. So, but the one thing I'll say about Julius is that he's gotten better every year. He has better supporting cast, and I'm rooting for him. I'm a big fan of Julius, and I'm glad he's here for our future. I think he'll, in the playoffs, he'll work awful hard. And like I said, as long as the other guys do what they need to do, I think Randall's going to be fine. Randall gets into bad territory when the other guys don't do what they're supposed to do, and he tries to take on too much himself.
Yep, couldn't disagree with you there, Foxy. Let's see other chats we have.
Hey, in the meantime, for our guy, sorry, my throat when I talk so much, Jay Boogie. Hey, if anyone has any moving needs in the North Carolina area or in the New York, New Jersey area, and you're going down to the intending to move down to North Carolina, please hit up our friend Jay Boogie at bettercaremoversnc@gmail.com. So that's bettercaremoversnc @gmail.com. Jay Boogie will definitely hook you up.
Yeah, so Foxy, gonna wrap it up here. I appreciate you joining me to discuss all things Knicks. We'll be back on again next Sunday, 8 p.m. to discuss and kind of recap what's going on. We did a preview for the 3 games this week. Hopefully we'll be 3-0. I think the real, not the struggle, but the real test is going to be against the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday. So hopefully we're able to win that one, come out 3-0 and be, the best team in the Eastern Conference, which we're tied right now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure what the finals for some of the games were today, if that might have shaken things up. But for the most part, I think we're still number 1.
Yeah, but I'd love us to be, 8-1. And I think at 6:00 next Sunday, prior to us coming on, I think we play Cleveland next week. Hey, that kid Mobley is all world, man. I got a lot of people cranky with Cade and with Suggs and Jalen Green saying, yo, if I was a GM, I'd take Mobley because he's going to not only be a defensive anchor, but this kid is special. And he looks, for a rookie, he looks like he's been in the league a while, man. This guy is awful special. You can't teach 7 foot. You can't teach 7'5" wingspan. You can't teach a 44-inch vertical. So he gets the ball in his spot. He's serious. So him, Jared Allen, Sexton's having an off season, so we'll see. I'd love us. I said, hey, I want us to be. I predicted 9-1, or at worst 8-2, and we were right on that trajectory. So I don't know what our buddy George said, but George nailed it. I asked him to pick me some lottery numbers because he picked 5-1 for the month of October, and he was right on. Hey, I didn't see our friend Geraldine MacGyver in the chat today, but I know it's her birthday, so. Geraldine, if you are listening, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. I lost my thought. Geraldine, happy birthday to you. We really appreciate all your support, Geraldine.
See, I'll let you sing a solo on that one. I don't want
even my singing distracts me. By the way, if you hear my dog barking in the other room, you know why. So.
All right, Foxy. So we'll wrap it up there. SV Nation, thank you guys for tuning in. The chat was phenomenal as always. Once again, none of this is possible without your support, without you guys tuning in, without you guys clicking, liking, and leaving your comments. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Foxy, thank you as well for tuning in and co-hosting with me. Always love having you here on the channel. So once again, I'm
back at you.
host of sports. Oh, also before I tune out, we are dropping the squad before we go. Just want to remind you guys, so don't
listen to our guy Jay Boogie as we go out.
Yep, Jay Boogie dropping an album called Jay Boogie Presents Knicks in the Booth, and this is the squad. So thank you guys. Quis, Foxy, I'm out.
Yeah, I told you. I'm about to put on a suit and tie. Look like Jerome or something with that mirror. Cause when you look good, you ain't gotta worry about nobody telling you how you look. So never mind what the haters say. They wanna hate what they love in the franchise. With Spike said it's the orange with the blue skies. It's no city more famous with the nightlife. We celebrate feeling good, it's the Knicks, right? They wanna hate what they love in the franchise. With Spike said it's the orange with the blue skies. It's no city more famous with the nightlife. We celebrate feeling good, it's the Knicks, right? We all know right now who brought the city back. Tell D Rose Noel ties, let's run it back. With Berg said he inking in that new contract. Some new money have you pushing that Maybach. I hear the talk, Katie say we ain't cool no more. We'll tell that to the Barclays when they open the door. Before the game, red carpets get rolled out. You see the stars, attendance mean we sold out. Ain't no arena feeling like this gym. Clyde with that brim, Nick jersey with some butter Tims. This for the ones that continue to love the hate. And how Max went from his first to his last take. They say, Boogie, why you talk like that? I'm spitting bars, so I'ma talk like that. Yeah, the media got me feeling like that. My James Brown saying this is my payback. They wanna hate what they love in the franchise. With Spike said it's the orange with the blue skies. It's no city more famous with the nightlife. We celebrate feeling good, it's the Knicks, right? They wanna hate what they love in the franchise. With Spike said it's the orange with the blue skies. It's no city more famous with the nightlife. We celebrate feeling good, it's the Knicks, right? Some real fans to the game, that mean we stay loyal. Twist the cap off the top so you can crown royal. I promise you about to see a league mess. I'm right beside Mr. Worldwide West, gunning championship Escobar with the cigar. The next track, Mr. Dolan on the guitar. Play that, in fact this a new anthem. Tell Mr. Itzler you need a new Hawk anthem. Everybody put your hands in the air. I wanna see you with your hands in the air. Celebrate your life. Everybody put your hands in the air. I wanna see you with your hands in the air. You a Knick for life. They don't live how we live when we do what we do. We do what we do. They don't do it. We represent to the fullest, just that orange and blue. You a Knick for life. They wanna hate what they love in the franchise. With Spike said it's the orange with the blue skies. It's no city more famous with the nightlife. We celebrate feeling good, it's the Knicks, right? They wanna hate what they love in the franchise. With Spike said it's the orange with the blue skies. It's no city more famous with the nightlife. We celebrate feeling good, it's the Knicks, right?